Welcome to the Finest Women in Real Estate. I am your host, Antonette Waite. I'm the founder and the CEO of the Finest Women in Real Estate, and I am here not producing and directing, but a host. Now, I am here because of the topic that we're going to be talking about. We are going to talk about some of the challenges and benefits of owning a real estate company. And if you are in the real estate industry, this is a great information for you. And if you're not, it's still good to know what the real estate professionals are doing in running their business. I have invited three amazing, beautiful women, and they are the finest women in real estate. And so we're going to go start. I'll introduce you to our first guest, Teresa Vo. Hi, Teresa. How are you?
Thank you.
Teresa is the real estate broker of Vo Properties and Investments. I'm glad that you're here, Teresa. So excited.
Thank you, and I love the introduction.
Yes. And next to her is Pauline Woelky, who is also a real estate owner of the United One Realty. Am I right?
That's correct.
Yes. And you're from the Temecula Valley.
Correct, yes.
Thank you so much for being here, Pauline.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. And lastly, we have Victoria Sandoval, who is also a real estate owner of the Select Premier Properties.
Yes.
From San Diego.
Yes.
I am so excited to have all of you girls. And are you ready to talk about how you own and run your business?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So let's start with you, Teresa.
Sure.
How long have you been in the real estate business, and why did you decide to own a real estate company?
Sure. Well, every single part of it was a fluke. I actually got my real estate license my freshman year in college. And it was because I had gone home for the summer and my mom was studying for her exam, and English is her second language. And so she asked me to help her study, and I figured, well, sure, if I'm studying all this stuff, I'm going to take the test. So I went out, I got licensed, and then my mom ended up never taking the test. So here I am licensed, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I have no clue what to do. So I actually went to a small boutique brokerage, and I hung my license with them. And I was in college at the time, at that time anyway. And so I had actually approached the top producer, and I asked him if I could be his assistant. And I pretty much did that through college until I got to a point where I felt like I could do my own deals and feel comfortable enough. And then getting that under my belt, once I started being comfortable in doing my own deals, it got to a point where I was doing multifamily real estate. And then I was going to my broker and I was asking him all these questions. And it wasn't like he was like, I don't know, let me find out. Let me do what I can to help and support you, as I feel a broker should do. But instead it was like, I don't know, figure it out on your own. And so at that point I decided, okay, well, I'm going to get my broker's license in and I'm going to do it on my own. So honestly, I think if I had started with a big brokerage, like, you know, one of those that give tons of support and training, it would have been like a completely different story for me. But instead, I kind of just figured out how to do everything on my own. And I'm a solo practitioner, and I work pretty much as every agent does. It's just I'm managed by myself, and I work under the umbrella of my own brokerage.
Amazing. That is really taking charge of what you wanted to do in the real estate industry.
Well, I had no choice.
Okay, so Pauline, same question for you.
Okay, so I got licensed in 2004, and kind of when the market, shifted, I was also selling pools at the time. So in 2008, I decided nobody was getting pools anymore because of financing. I decided to do full-time real estate in 2008. So I also hung my license under a small boutique type brokerage. Didn't even have an office or anything like that. So. But I was there for a few years, all the way up until 2015, and that's when I opened up United One Realty and decided to open up the company and hire agents and help them out as well. So.
And how many agents do you have working for you?
I have about 9 agents working for.
Okay. And Teresa, did you mention how many employees you have?
I have 2 part-time agents, but like again, mostly it's just me, and they work as a team with me, but primarily it's me.
And with you having the 9 employees, I mean 9 agents, I mean that's a lot of people to manage.
Yes, it's a lot. It's fun, but I really have like the best people possibly. So my goal is to have quality people, not really quantity of people. And so we all really work together as a team, and we're kind of like a family, and it's amazing. So it's great. So
I think the job description changes completely, because I was the managing broker of another brokerage for a while, and the job description is totally different. And so, like, you are so great at it. Like, I can completely see that. But I could just not, like, it was not my strength. It wasn't my passion. And, you know,
Yeah, well, I really enjoy it, so and hopefully they're happy.
Okay, great. Now, Victoria, in your situation, it looks like you have a larger number of people in your company. Am I right?
Yeah, we have about roughly between 15 to 20 agents at a time. I got into the industry when I was close to 20 years old, so it's been 16 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, and I can definitely relate to Teresa because when I worked as a new agent, it was just so difficult to, I worked for the larger corporations, so it was very difficult to learn. You're a sales manager, no offense to sales managers out there, but when it comes to sales and negotiations, unfortunately, I didn't feel like they had the skills to teach me. And many times the broker was unavailable. So it took me a little bit longer to get to where I'm at, and so opening the office was something that I did it because I wanted to help other agents, and I can also relate to her as well. Our office is, we're like family. I have a great team. We're very close, and I didn't want my brokerage to be an office where it's 250 agents. We have a tight, close-knit group of producing agents, and we help one another. So it's a really good environment and position to be in.
Wow, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I also owned a real estate company in the past, and I had 50 agents working for me. And I can totally relate to all of you in running a business. So one thing that I wanted to ask you is, how did you start with the structure of the business? I know, being a real estate agent for many years and jumping into owning a real estate company, how did that work for you? How did it start?
Well, for me, I feel like it was actually pretty easy because I did everything in baby steps. Like before I even became an agent, I was an assistant because I wanted to know what it is that you need to do, because everything I do, especially when you're taking on clients and handling other people's homes and money and investments, I want to make sure I can do it right. So I started off making sure that I knew all the steps. Once I watched an agent and I said, okay, I can do everything he does, then I went out on my own as an agent. Once I watched my broker, and then not only was I, again, no offense, not only was like, I can do everything he does, but I can do it better, then it was easy to just look at the structure and say, okay, this is what I want, and I'm just gonna go do it. I didn't really know any better at that time. I don't know how old I was. It was, 2006 is when I opened my own brokerage. And like I said, it was just like, I don't like where I am. I think I can do it better, so let me try.
Okay. Well, we're gonna continue and we'll take a break. And please don't go away. This is the Finest Women in Real Estate. I'm your host, Marie Antonette Waite.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back. This is Marie Antonette Waite, your host for the Finest Women in Real Estate. On our first segment, we were talking about the structure of running a real estate company. We're going to move on to Pauline. Pauline, in your case, you have 9 agents. Mm-hmm. How did it all start for you? And is it challenging, or is it too difficult to manage 9 agents?
Well, no, obviously everything has its challenges, and if everything was easy, everybody would be doing it. So, but I started because I wanted to start my own company and help other agents, and so, kind of put together an idea of what my business plan or my focus or purpose was with the company. So I knew I wanted it to be a boutique company, and I knew I wanted to keep it small. That way I can help manage the agents and also be able to get them to, because you have liability, with these other agents. It's not really on them if they do something wrong. It's the broker that's going to have the liability. So that's one reason why I really wanted to keep it smaller, because that way I can definitely manage and help them and get them to where they need to be.
So did you have to hire additional help, like assistant or?
I started, my first hire was going to be my, because not only I'm also a producing agent, so I also have my own book of business. So I'm doing my own book of business and help managing these agents to get to be where they're at. So I hired an assistant, a transaction coordinator, and that transaction coordinator, all my agents are required to use her for each of the transactions, so that way I know that all the paperwork's done correctly, that everything is in the file the way it's supposed to be. So.
And are they all full-time agents?
They are mostly full-time agents,
Okay.
yeah. So I think I attract women because being a mother, having 3 children, being a mom, and being able to, do pretty well in the industry, I think that kind of attracted the people to me that I hired. So most of us are all, hardworking moms that are also, hardworking agents. So I do have one male agent, but it's
Okay.
good. I love it. He's a new hire, so
he's very lucky, right, to be surrounded with women.
I am very lucky. So we support each other. We're a team. We all help each other out as well. But we also have a healthy competitiveness with us too.
That is amazing.
That's great.
Where were you when I needed you?
You want to come over to United Winter League? No.
Now with Victoria, I mean, this is a different structure. You're talking about 20 agents in your company. How do you get them motivated, and how does it work for you?
I think the most important thing is lead by example. I'm just like her. I still produce. And I took baby steps. When I opened the office, it was just me by myself. I made sure I hired new agents because I wanted to make sure that they learned the right way. We came up with a business plan for all of the agents, basically a step-by-step guide from creating your own email signature to getting your social media up and running to getting your sphere up and running. We have a boot camp for all the agents. So it's very structured because when I got into the business, I was very lost. I didn't know what to do. Do I knock on doors? Do I send out mailers? I didn't have that guidance. So that's really important to help agents succeed, I believe, in this industry. And so little by little, we've been hiring one person at a time. We invest our time in that person, and once they're up and running, then we'll hire another person.
Okay.
So true. Once you take that salesperson's license, that real estate test, really, it doesn't really help you out there to how to get the business, how to, the contracts and stuff. So it's really important to have somebody that's, that boot camp thing, that's awesome, that, helps you doing that and making sure that you're doing it the right way, because you can be totally lost once you get your license. And that's probably why a lot of agents aren't that successful too.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And everyone wants to get into real estate, but the boot camp also kind of helps weed out people who aren't really committed too, because if they're not willing to, listen to phone calls or shadow other agents at open houses, then this is probably not the right business for them.
Okay. So do you have full-time employees?
For the most part, they're all full-time. We have maybe a handful that are part-time, so they get escrows here and there, their co-workers or family or friends.
Okay. Well, let me ask all of you, how many years have you been a real estate agent before you opened the real estate company? Start with you, Victoria.
For me, it was about 12 years.
12 years? Pauline?
Mine was 7 years.
Okay.
7 years after I was a full-time agent. 9 total.
So 9 total. All right.
Yeah, so I've been an agent now for almost 18 years, and then it was by year 5 I had gotten my broker's license and started my brokerage. So it was
Okay.
pretty early on.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, being a real estate broker is also, there's a lot of responsibilities involved, right? And I know, Victoria, you're also taking your study in being a real estate broker.
Yes.
So how is that working for you right now with, managing all these employees and also trying to study and getting ready for the test?
Yeah, it's taken me a little bit longer than it should. I should have got it maybe 4 years ago. But again, it's very difficult to run the company, have my book of business, be a mom, and study. But I'm now taking the bull by the horns and taking the test next month. So
And you're a mom too. How many children, kids?
2 children.
2 children. Wow. How do you guys all manage that? I am very
It's quite
impressed.
impressive, really.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now-
I think probably our children are pretty amazing. So, they run around town and help us out. So they're
That's
good kids.
cute.
That helps.
Now, we all know that there are a lot of big companies out there that are providing amazing training also for the real estate agents. Now, do you have a program for your agents in regards to training? We'll start with you, Victoria.
I do have a program. There's depending on if they want to be a full-time agent or part-time agent, we do have a program, and I'm their mentor, so it's one-on-one, as opposed to with the larger corporation, they have a calendar of sales trainings, and they tell you, okay, attend this sales training, and if you have any questions, go to your sales manager. So it's very kind of sink or swim, and with our Select Premier Properties, they have an issue or they want to learn something, they come directly to me and we work on it together. So that's the difference, I guess you can say.
Okay, and what about you, Pauline?
I very closely work hand in hand. So when they do their first few deals, I'm pretty much doing it with them and helping them so they realize what they're doing. We do office meetings, so I always, do educational things as far as at our office meetings, making sure that they are updated on the contracts, any legal things that are happening. And I also have my phone on me all the time. So I think that's a little bit of a difference between the, bigger companies versus like a smaller one. I've had agents that have come to my company that were at the bigger ones, and they just felt that they were lost. They felt that they couldn't call somebody and they didn't really know them. And they become, great friends with me, and so they'll call me at 11 o'clock if they're putting together an offer so I can review it and, just give them the full support that they need.
I see. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and in our next segment, we're going to continue with Teresa in regards to any real estate laws that can affect running a real estate company. So don't go away, we'll be right back.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
First time I tried Vicodin, and it was laying around my mom's house. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to The Finest Women in Real Estate. I'm your host, Marie Antonette Waite. In our last segment, we were talking about new real estate laws that can affect your business. Now, Teresa, is there anything about the real estate law that prevents you or makes it difficult for you to run your business?
Sure. Well, finishing up on the education and training topics, I'm a big proponent of education and continued training. So even though I don't manage, agents that do so, I am continually taking classes, and I have more designations than I can actually remember. But you want to make sure you do stay on top of laws, and you want to surround yourself with a good team, like, attorney, CPA, and being a member of the National Association of Realtors and the California Association of Realtors, and then of course your local one as well, they actually provide great resources. So as long as you take advantage of all the classes and training that they offer, then you should be fine.
Okay, Pauline.
Yeah, so I'm a board of director at our local association, Southwest Riverside County, and so that's awesome. Yeah, we have our legal attorney that comes to our board, and we do like a brown bag lunch, so you bring your lunch and he'll go over all the new real estate laws that are happening. And so I definitely always have my agents attend those so they know what's going on. I know upcoming right now, it's not a real estate law yet, but it is in other states, but dual agency is a big deal when you're acting an agent for both parties. And it's not so much the licensed person. If Teresa and I were both at the company, if she was working for the buyer and I was the seller, it would still be a dual agency because we're still under the same company. Okay. So those are kind of things that you need to watch out for. So
that's great information. Thank you for sharing that. We also have a new guest, and I wanted to introduce you, joined by Camille Wood. Hi, Camille. How are you?
I am excited.
Yes.
I really am.
So Camille is a fashion designer. I have known you for many years, working with you on some of the activities that we did in the community. So tell us what's going on, Camille. There's something going on that's new.
Well, I am very excited to say that I'm going to be hosting my own show right here on EAN TV. So.
Wow, congratulations. Yes. And what will be the title of the show?
Well, oddly enough, it's going to be called The Camille Wood Show.
All right, and what can we expect from your show?
What I want to do is a show for women. Certainly won't stop men from watching if they'd like. They'd probably learn a few things. But primarily women of all ages with a special focus on the 40-plus woman. So I want it to be fun. I want it to be entertaining, but I also want it to be informative and educational. So when a woman watches the show, she can laugh and have a great time, but at the end say, wow, I didn't know about that product. Or who knew, that I could do that. That was fantastic. And really be able to use something that they've learned on the show.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yes.
So you ladies are interested in watching our show and being part of it too?
Absolutely,
Huh?
yeah.
Well, here's a little teaser.
What?
So, as we get older, not old, never get old, but as we get older, sometimes we may want to do a little facial enhancement or whatever, but we don't want to do plastic surgery. So I have a product, and I'm not going to share it now because you have to stay tuned, but it will actually take 10 to 20 years off of your face and your neck in less than a minute.
Wow, that's amazing.
So
I can't wait.
Where's the demo? I don't think I can wait that long.
Well, we have a very, very short time here. I just wanted to get a quick tip from you, Victoria. What can you share to our listeners in regards to owning a real estate company?
It's a lot of work. It's not easy work, but it's a lot of hard work. It requires a lot of patience, and you have to really love it in order to succeed. So.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, ladies. You are truly the finest women in real estate. And Camille, thank you for joining us too today.
Thank you.
To our listeners, this is the finest women in real estate. You've seen these amazing women have shared their experience, and I hope you learned something from it. And don't forget to tune into our next episode. Go to EAN TV, Edge of America Network TV, in Roku and Amazon Fire TV.